Dave, great to see you.
Not great to see me. That was a joke.
Well, I mean, Radio Foyle covers Derry in the north west, as you know, and it's an integral part of the community and the communities that it serves. And the journalists here don't want to be out on strike today. They'd much rather be covering the local elections. Instead, they're making the news because they're on strike, and they're out on strike because of frustration at cuts to the resources that they have in the newsroom and cuts to the programming. And the fact is that the cuts to the programming, which were first flagged up about 6 months ago, have gone ahead. They've proceeded. We have managed to negotiate with the company, and it has, up to a point, acknowledged that those cuts were far too deep. But the members here cannot do their job appropriately and to the best of their ability if the resources that are available to them are cut, or if the time that they're allowed to broadcast is cut. They need that time, they need those resources. If you don't give them the time to broadcast and the resources to make the quality journalism that they do make, then ultimately the output is going to suffer. It's not rocket science, and it's something that the BBC management should see, that this is a last resort for our members taking strike action.
Why do you think cuts like this are harmful to the industry?
Well, obviously to the radio industry, which BBC would be part of. You know, there's a bit of freeze on the licence fee, and that's a decision made outside of the BBC. But then when the BBC have to implement it, that is coming down, that comes down, it comes down until it reaches us. And leaving aside how the cuts were formulated, the fact that there is a shortage of money, a deliberate shortage of money for things like radio, for things like just in general the arts, you know, for things like libraries, for things, you know, there's a long list, and it does have an effect. You know, it does have an effect, and it's a very, very negative effect.
What about that? Sorry, just to add a question for not even young musicians, up and coming musicians, you know, because they always have a platform.
Yeah, up and coming musicians actually I think have it a bit better, because a lot of them are so self-motivated, so self-starting. In Derry, they also have the Nerve Centre, and they still have some venues, you know, whereas you hear about lots of places in England where the venues are disappearing, you know, where people can't afford to try and be in a band because the cost of living is so high. There's all that kind of thing. I'm of an age where I was lucky in that we started whenever things were relatively cheap. We had nothing, but things were kind of cheap, and you know you could go under the radar and you could do it all yourself. Nowadays it's very difficult. But musicians in Derry, slightly healthier, I think, than in other parts of the world.